Hey, what's happening, folks? Boy91 here, and I'm bringing to you week 4 of the NFL Power Rankings. My apologies for last week. I did not feel like doing a video over it because nothing much has changed since last week. But this week is a lot of good teams that made the list. Finally, a lot of teams that got bounced out of the top 10. So let's go ahead and look at the list. And I just want to go on and say this real quick. For anybody that says I shouldn't have doubted my Panthers, you're right and wrong. I probably should have stuck with my team like every other fan does, but in the past 3 seasons, they haven't given me anything to really believe in them in the last seconds of a game. But they did blow out the Giants. That was actually a pretty good win there. All right, so with this list, number one, Seattle Seahawks. They were number one last week after they blew out the 49ers at home. They're also number one now because they blew out the Jaguars. So they pretty much played a good team last week. They played a team that's really an NFL team this week in the Jaguars. So them being number one is warranted. But I still like the Broncos there. Broncos probably will be there if they had the home field advantage Seattle has. But since Seattle has the best stadium on steroids in the NFL, that's why they're number one. Broncos number two right now. They blew out the Raiders, and all you Raider fans, I kept saying they got a good secondary. Pretty much, if you guys watch the season, and it's a small sample size, they played well against the Colts, but the Colts don't. I don't know. They got Andrew Luck, and they're kind of a power run team with some receivers that can catch, but they're pretty much dink and dunk short passes. So they Raiders shut that down quick. Plus, they got a pass rush on Andrew Luck, so that prevented the passes. But they play the Jaguars, who have no quarterback, so of course their pass defense looks a lot better than it was. But Peyton Manning pretty much went out there and decimated it, so that pretty much warrants them being number two. But I think the Broncos should be number one, and that's probably my Colorado bias coming in to play there. All right, so the the Saints made a big jump. They went for number 8 last week, number 3. They jumped that high because they're undefeated right now, and I agree that all undefeated teams should be in the top 5, barring the Chiefs and Dolphins. We'll get to those in a second. But Saints made a big jump. They look really good at home. They're going to be a nice team in the AFC. I did not NFC. I did not expect them to have a big jump this year. Defense was bad last year, but I had faith in Rob Ryan. I don't know why Dallas Cowboys got rid of him. Well, I do know why, but I don't know why they got rid of him because he was a good a good defensive coach, but he did not have the personnel because he got hurt last year. But I do like DeMarcus Ware playing the 3-4. I mean the 4-3, then the 3-4. So I like the move for both teams there. Got some good win-wins on both sides. So Saints number 3. The Chicago Bears are number 4. I feel like they should be higher than the Saints because they have played tougher opponents. I want to say they played the Cincinnati Bengals. They also played the Vikings. They gave them a good run, and they also played the Steelers. The Saints played the I don't know. Falcons don't seem that good away from the Georgia Dome. They also played the Buccaneers, and then they beat up on the Cardinals, who are still figuring things out on the offensive end of the ball. So I feel like the Bears should get the nod ahead of them. But Jay Cutler is a good quarterback, and I'm happy to see him succeed. As I always said in my videos, I used to live in Colorado, and I loved watching Jay Cutler play football. I loved watching him go out there and perform to his best of his abilities. I was like, I just love watching him play. So it's nice to see him have success early. So hopefully they can keep it up and be a threat in the NFC North. And all you Packer fans better be shivering in your boots because Jay Cutler is coming for your crown. Number 5, you have the Patriots. They dropped last week, number 7, because they were probably the worst 2-0 team, and they're probably the worst 3-0 team, barring the Chiefs. And I'll get to those in a second, I keep saying. But they looked good. They played the Buccaneers, who aren't that good, but they had a good pass defense, and Tom Brady pretty much went out there and found some of his young receivers and did a pretty good job not turning the ball over and also putting the receivers in position to make plays to get into the end zone. So I don't mind them being number 5. Now, this is where people might be mad because the Bengals are number 6 right now, and they're 2-1. The Dolphins are number 7, and the Chiefs are number 8, who are 3-0. I honestly would put the Bengals at 6 and the Colts at 7, and put the Dolphins and Chiefs at 8 and 9, maybe even around the 10 spot. Only because the Dolphins are a good team, but their defense is not that good, and they played some. The best quarterback they played probably was Matt Ryan. They did play the Colts, and it came down to Andrew Luck getting sacked. But I feel like the Bengals have a better defense and a better offense than the Dolphins and Chiefs do, and I feel like the Colts do as well. So I would propel those guys above those two teams. Bengals got pretty lucky this week with that fumble. 9 times out of 10, that running back converts that or gets stuffed, but he dropped the ball and they got a return for a touchdown. That doesn't happen often, so they got a break there and got the win. That was a good game to watch, but I do like their defense and their secondary enough to put them as number 6. And as I said, I'll put the Colts in number 7 because they went out there and smacked the 49ers in the mouth. They shut down Colin Kaepernick, but he really didn't have any receivers to throw to there. So if you guys probably didn't expect that. After I realized Vernon Davis wasn't playing, like, this might not be a blowout like I thought it was going to be, but it was really nice to see Andrew Luck go out there and beat his old coach and Harbaugh. All right, so now I'm going back to the Dolphins and the Chiefs. So the Dolphins are 7 right now, 3-0 undefeated team. I wouldn't put them in the top 6, top 7, I guess, just because, like I said, I do like their team. I just don't like their secondary. It's kind of weak. Other than Rashad, or is it Rashad or Rashid Jones, Rashid Johnson, whatever his name is. Other than him, they don't really have anybody that's that great. Brett Grimes played well, but there's a reason why he got let go from Atlanta. Like, he was still performing at a high level. He's still been there. So Atlanta's not that bad at evaluating talent, as you guys can see. But I don't like their secondary, so I would bring them down. And with the Chiefs, they pretty much play the same style as the Dolphins did back in, I want to say, 2008, or when they had Chad Pennington, when they went 11-5 and beat the Patriots in the division, went to the playoffs, because they just dink and dunk. Alex Smith is the check down king. All he does is throw the ball to the receiver that's pretty much, that's like, well, like in the flat or whatever. Like, it's a good way to win games, you guys might see. But you're not going to be Peyton Manning. You're not going to be Tom Brady putting up 15, 16 points a game. You got to put up points in the NFL to win football games, and putting up 10, 15, 17 points a game will not get the job done. So Alex Smith has to throw the ball downfield to succeed. Dwayne Bowe probably should have left Kansas City, because I don't think he's going to be catching anything deep in the near future. But I could be wrong. Alex Smith could prove everybody wrong and lead that team to the wild card, because they're not going to go undefeated, and they're not going to go past the Broncos. So he might be a nice option there and pose a threat to Denver, but I don't think they're going to be that big of a deal. And the Colts are 9. They were 14 after they got beat by the Dolphins last week. They dropped pretty bad, but since they did beat the 49ers, who are the prohibited favorites to win the Super Bowl this year, they had a nice bump up. They went out there and pretty much smacked them in the mouth. But the thing that was really funny, as that I saw on a Sports Center on Twitter, was that Aaron Rodgers, Andrew Luck was, I think, 18 of 19 when the 49ers didn't pressure him, and then they were also, and on when they did rush him, or when they did send a blitz, he was 0 for 8. So the 49ers did a terrible job sending the blitz at Andrew Luck, which allowed him to pick them apart. And plus, now they got Trevor Richardson, so it's going to be a pretty good team in the AFC. They're probably going to win the AFC South now that I think, but the Texans don't look that good, especially because their offense is still the same as last year, and the defense is still elite, but their offense is pretty average in my book. And the 49ers had the biggest drop from number 3 last week down to number 10. They're struggling right now, but they have no receivers, as I said before. Vernon Davis didn't play. Crabtree is still hurt, and then Anquan Bolden can't get down the field as he once could. And so they're missing that deep threat, and that's why Colin Kaepernick is looking pretty bad. He's going to bounce back, I believe. Just give him some time. He's still young, and he's still kind of in like his rookie season. So cut the guy a break. I need you guys to stop overreacting when you guys see a guy struggle bad, because that's basically, it's just knee-jerking, and I don't like that at all. So that's the top 10. I do not like the Ravens being at 11 overall. I'm still going to kill the Ravens fans. I'm sorry, you beat the Texans. The Texans should be 0-3. Ravens should not be number 11. I do believe the Packers are better than the Ravens at 1-2. Also believe the Falcons are better than the Ravens at 1-2. The Cowboys are getting no love. Because they beat the Rams last week, they stayed the same. They're 2-1 and sitting at 15. And then they got the Lions at 16, which I don't know. I feel like they should be higher than the teams that are 1-2. I don't know. Ravens should be probably in top, like, it's probably around 18, 19. Jets are 2-1, which they're probably not going to get out of that division. I don't think they're going to be sustaining that record anytime soon. Just glancing through, my Panthers moved up 6 spots. I don't know why they moved up that bad. They beat a pretty bad team, the Giants. I'm happy to see them moving up the list, but it wasn't really anything special to beat up on a bad team. So, trying to think, what's the biggest? I don't know. The Titans are getting no love this year. Titans are 2-1. They have a nice defense. They got a nice offense. I feel like they should be higher than number 17. Like, the Titans should be, I don't know, I'll put the Titans ahead of the Packers right now. The Titans ahead of the Packers, ahead of the Texans, also ahead of the Falcons. So whoever makes this list kind of is annoying me. I feel like they're trolling everybody out there by having people who they have out here as of now. But I don't know, what do you guys feel? Do you guys feel that some of these people on the list is egregious? Like, do you feel like people are not getting any love? Like, I don't know, it's weird. It's just weird to me. Like, if you're 2-1, why are you 16? And if you're 1-2, why are you 11? So I don't know, I just feel Ravens should be lower, Packers should be lower, Texans should be lower, and Falcons should be lower, and Cowboys should be higher, so should the Lions, Titans. Maybe the Jets can say the same, because the Jets did get one win that was lucky. That Tampa Bay game was pretty bad. And who was the worst team? Of course, it's the Jaguars, sitting at 0-3. They're not, I don't know, it's funny. The Browns traded Richardson. They still are the worst team in the NFL. So the Jaguars is number 32 on this list, and the Buccaneers aren't far from behind them. Greg Schiano and probably Josh Freeman are not going to be there next year. I feel like they're going to get let go at the end of the season. Maybe Schiano might get fired during the season, I believe, because he kind of is an asshole of a coach. Like, I don't understand why he won't let Revis play the way Revis wants to play. Revis is used to playing man-on-man coverage, and he cannot do that with Schiano's scheme, because Schiano's saying, I'm going to tell you what to do, and I'm going to be a douchebag, I'm going to be a dictator, and I'm going to tell you how you should do things. Now, Revis don't like that too much, and then also Freeman is just, he's regressed, and I don't think it's his fault. Like, he was so good, I think 2 years ago. Now that this coach, I feel like he doesn't really want him as his quarterback. So if Schiano stays there, I wouldn't be surprised to see a quarterback change and Freeman coming out and Mike Glennon going in. I feel like Mike Glennon had a better preseason debut than Freeman did, but anything could happen there. The Jaguars probably should go ahead and sign Tim Tebow just to give him a chance. They can't get any worse at quarterback. Raiders are number 30th. They're not getting any love either. They pretty much are. I don't understand. They're 1-2, and they're not better than the Giants or the Steelers. No, the Steelers shouldn't be 28th. Like, I feel like the Bills should be 28th. I know. I feel like I need to go back and rearrange this entire list. They need to call me and have me do the power rankings for the NFL. But some of the stuff I do agree with, though. Cardinals 1-2. I feel like they're better than a lot of teams. Once they get their offense figured out, though, they're going to be a nice threat to work with. Because their defense has always been nice. That's the reason why they went 4-0 last year. They beat the Patriots because they got a pass rush, and then they all of a sudden, we have no quarterback, and Larry Fitzgerald was useless last year. So once the Cardinals get their offense situated, they'll be a nice threat to be in the NFC West. We got the Eagles, who are going to lose next week against the Broncos, so they're going to keep dropping, and the Chargers should be getting better, but I don't feel like they're going to be able to get out of that division because I feel like the Chiefs and the Broncos are going to be leading that entire division, unless the Chargers somehow have a nice 9-0 run here in the near future. So hopefully we can see a nice race out there in the AFC, which is going to be a tough division this year. It's going to be really, really tough and fun to watch. So, well, if you guys enjoyed this game right now you're watching is a coin game. As you guys can see, we're in overtime. I don't play major coin games. It's only for 5,000 coins. It's not much, but it kind of makes the game a little bit more interesting, because if you do 100,000 coins, all you're going to get is a lot of people doing the faggotry, which is running all the notes. What do they call it? No, fag D. You got people running out routes, curl routes, because coin stakes are high. And I want to have fun when I play the game. And I generally play to win, or I just play to have fun. And I'm not about stressing myself over and over to try to get this victory. So, as you guys can see, we do get the win. So this is game 1 of 2. He doubled or nothing. So I got one more game. You guys will see that in the near future, as soon, probably on Friday after I do the NFL picks. I was kind of right and kind of wrong this week, so hopefully you guys don't kill me again this week if I was wrong about a pick I made. If I finish any of you guys' teams, oh well, I'm sorry, it's sports. Sometimes your team isn't that good, and I gotta tell you like it is. So just don't get mad at me and try to crucify me if I disrespect your team. If you're a Jaguars fan, I'm sorry. You might want to change teams. And also, if you're a Bucks fan and you don't like the fact that I said Shiano's an asshole, you gotta face facts. He is an asshole. But other than that, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Drop it a like, subscribe to this channel if you're new. And if you guys don't agree with me, anything I said, let me know in the comment section below. I'll read it and comment back to you. So, I'm out this mother bleeper. Peace!